So recently, what I decided to do was to test Seth Bling's MarIO algorithm. Get the emulator, download that BizHawk emulator, get a ROM in there, and then just kind of generally see how the algorithm works. Why did I want to do this? Well, when I first started grad school many years ago, which is kind of a weird statement to say now, I remember a coworker telling me, "Hey, have you seen this video of an AI script playing Super Mario World?" And I thought to myself, well, this seems pretty cool. This seems like something that I want to watch. So I watched it and I was just blown away. And I was blown away from seeing how it plays Super Mario Kart. And then little did I know that there's a lot of people out there using AI to play these older, I guess more basic kind of games. And so what I set out to do is I just wanted to recreate it and see what it would look like on my own computer. And I did that on my Twitch account, which you are seeing right now on video. And so some things you need to know is that I chose the wrong level initially. I think I chose Yoshi's Island Part 1. The Seth Bling video chose the other level available as soon as you start the game. So my results were not the same in that aspect, but I was no less mesmerized and captivated by, I guess, the stupidity of the algorithm at first, but then also as it learned to get better and perform better over time. So what you're seeing here is my first 8 hours kind of condensed or just really chopped up, because what I did is I saved the state way too early. What I ended up doing per the instructions was correct. It was just not triggering anything else in the game. So the algorithm wasn't responding to anything. So it just was in this infinite update stage or reload stage for 8 hours. And trust me, that was really fun to wake up to in the mornings. I let it stream overnight. I had people come to my Twitch chat and be like, "Dude, what's going on? This is really weird. This isn't working." But one handy fellow who actually has repeated this before said, "You need to wait about a second longer before you save your state." And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll show you at the very end how to get this up and going. So morning rolls around and I end up resaving the state about a second later when that first Koopa Trooper guy comes on in and slides at you. So I get the algorithm to start reacting. And it was pretty cool. I gotta say that I was astounded by how stupid the algorithm was. And that's not saying the algorithm is stupid, but how stupid it is at first. It's just learning the controls, jumping, how to respond, how to, as efficiently as it can, get to the end of the level. Now, since I chose the wrong level, I got eventually like a high fitness score that would indicate a completion in the other level that the Seth Bling video did. But in mine, what ended up happening was I never made it past, I think, the last large bullet bill. So I essentially would have Mario run and run and run and run and run, and it'd fly over things, jump on stuff, dodge everything, it would seem. And then it would just run straight into this enemy towards the end of the level. And it was very frustrating. And for it to get to that point was kind of frustrating to watch. I guess it's like watching a Roomba, clean your floor. It does things in weird manners, and you just kind of gotta let it do its thing. But what was cool is that as I would step away for a few hours and come back, now looking back on this, you would definitely see the algorithm form really strong opinions on how to efficiently make it through sections of the level. Now and then it would deploy kind of a new strategy and it would fail, but you started seeing it get better and better and better and better. But what was frustrating is when it would make it really far, just on the random chance it clicks jump instead of pointing up to the sky and Mario does nothing. It would be in a new part of the level and not know what to do, and then it would sometimes just flat out stop. And that was a little frustrating because I'd be like, "Go little buddy," like it's me playing the game or someone else playing the game. But that sometimes, I guess, it kind of has that human feel, right? Humans play video games. When you see something that even looks somewhat inefficient, traversing through a level, you're like, yeah, go. But then when it stops, you're like, oh yeah, it's just an algorithm, it's a script being ran, and you can't really expect a ton out of it. So eventually what I had to do was I had to speed it up, the emulator, to 200, and then eventually I sped it up to 400% speed. So hopefully it would, just get to its goal quicker. And after about 30 hours of doing so, I decided that this is not really the thing for me, because 30 hours on my desktop of streaming that on my Twitch channel, it kind of locks you out from doing anything else on your computer for that day, and that just kind of was unacceptable because it was the weekend. I had other things I wanted to do. But nonetheless, it was really cool to recreate that experiment. I met some cool people in the stream that had been working on their own variation of this algorithm, and I'll provide all the links and everything in the reference to the Seth Bling video inside of the description below. But I'm going to also have the steps here. So what you're essentially going to do if you want to run this at home is you want to go to this website here, and it does a pretty good job of laying out what you need to do. So you're going to go to this website you see here. I would prefer, or recommend I should say, reading it first, just to kind of be ahead of the curve a bit. You're going to download that BizHawk emulator, and then after that you're going to find Seth Bling's script. And what I did is I just copied it, and then I made my own .lua file, copy and pasted it in there. Now this is me, or at least how I would do it here. You go to the emulator, and then you click right here on the toolbar, and this is where you go to actually load the Lua script. I made the accident of thinking I loaded the Lua script outside of the directory. I just kind of was a bit eager, and I'm used to just running scripts instead of just folders I placed them in, so could have reread the directions there a little bit better. But you load the Lua script in there, and then you want to make, I believe, this state file here, and this is super important. It needs to load the state, and this is what's going to be saved and loaded every time it dies or it lags here. Now another thing that's going to occur, you're going to notice, is going to make a lot of copies of the state. I think over 100 by the end of mine, so don't worry too much if you see it constantly writing out copy files of what it just did. You can just go back and delete those, and then it'll also make a pool file for what I believe is its most recent best decision making process, for it to then build upon the next generation to see who the winners and losers are for fitness overall. I'm not an artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning expert here. I got some little chops for some things here and there, but I'm not an expert. I don't have a master's in computer science, a PhD, anything like that in data science. I know the lingo, I know how to do some low-level things, but when it comes to this algorithm and whatever, I really just wanted to explore and see what it was like and have fun doing that. Because you don't need to be an expert. You don't need to, every time you post a video or look at someone's video and replicate it, you don't have to be like some evil genius in your own right. Sometimes you just want to download a script and be like, hell, this is pretty cool. This is awesome. I don't know if I'd ever want to spend so much time doing this, but it's cool to take other people's work and run it on your own computer and just kind of see what that outcome is like. And I feel like it makes it more real. Because one thing that I was able to do on my Twitch stream is that people know about AI generally, it responds to you in games. But it was cool showing people an old game that everyone loves, or most people love, and then they're logging in, I'm getting Snapchats, and they're like, yo, this is super cool. This is so trippy, seeing it play this level, and it's failing a lot. But this is so wild that it's constantly getting better as they check on in. And I think that part of it too is really cool, showing your friends like, hey, this is more than just something in Assassin's Creed or a Call of Duty game, or I don't know, anything else that has AI, where you take it for granted. When you say, hey, this is a script written by just an average person that reads the screen and then makes decisions, I think that is a bit cooler and a bit more, I guess, real life, because when you put the map on top and you show what buttons and connections are being made in the algorithm, it makes this a little bit more, I guess, verbose and real and loud to people who otherwise just think AI is some, buzz term. But yeah, this is my experience with the Seth Bling script for MarIO. Like I said, I'm going to link to his video and the paper and all the other jazz. And if you have any questions or you want me to check out anyone else's algorithm or do reviews of AI algorithms and games and let you know what I think, just let me know. And yeah, see ya.